Hate crimes, gun shooting, mass layoffs, tough job market, impossible wait time for green cards, high cost of living, and uncertainty of getting H-1B visas. Everywhere you look, there is some bad news about US. Studying in US has always been a dream for many Indians, but lately Indian nationalism spirit is rising and many people feel that American dream is dead. So, is US worth for studying abroad anymore? Let's find out. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Hope you're doing well and enjoying our videos. If you are, then please do consider subscribing to the channel and liking this video. It really helps us create more content for you. So today's video is super important because this has been a burning question in the minds of a lot of our audience, but also a topic close to my heart. So what I've tried to do here is I've tried to dig out some facts and present them to you, and also talk about my personal opinion. So take both into consideration, do your own finding before you can come to a more informed decision. I want to start with what are the things happening in US which are making a lot of international students, especially Indians, uncomfortable about studying abroad in US. Number one factor is massive layoffs. 2023 was the year of awful layoffs. People who were graduating in this year had a really tough time. Now, why did these layoffs happen? Firstly, the tech companies had overhired people big time. They were working on super ambitious projects which were experimental. Now, many of those projects are being shut down to save cost. Secondly, AI automation and wave has led to many jobs becoming obsolete. You don't need as many content writers now because AI can do it faster and more efficiently. Side note, if you are in any field that is at the mercy of automation, you should be very cautious. Now, the big question is whether the layoff situation is going to improve this year or not. Good news is, if you look at this chart, we see that tech layoffs have lowered since September 2023, but the bad news is that they are not tapering off just yet. In fact, we have heard big companies like Google laying off thousands of people and Twitch laying off 500 people in January 2024. So the market is yet to rebound and the worst may not be over yet. Now, many people who are getting laid off are H-1B tech workers. Now, layoffs by themselves are bad because it hurts your confidence and leaves you financially vulnerable. But it is worst for international workers on H-1B visa who have only 60-day grace period to find a new employer who can sponsor their visa. This is scary because if you don't find this employer, you and your family will have to leave US. Second factor is weak job market. Let's look at the broader repercussion of layoffs. There are so many great engineers available for work now because they were laid off. This has created immense competition in the tech job market, and this is hurting the new grads. You are basically getting hammered against people with relevant and longer experience in the US. No wonder it is much harder to get your resume shortlisted or getting a full-time job offer. I'm seeing a few very talented and smart scholar strategy clients struggling for job offers for this reason. Third factor is work visa crunch. 10 years ago, $1 was equal to 50 rupee. Today, $1 is almost equal to 85 rupee. 10 years ago, number of H-1B visas granted per year were 85,000 for masters students. Today, number of H-1B visas granted per year is still 85,000. Since forever, US work visa rules have been pretty crappy. Every year, there are only 85,000 H-1B visas issued, and there are 2 lakh Indians who go to study in US. This means that there will always be lakhs of Indians struggling to get H-1B visas. Compare this with a country like Australia, which gives 3 to 6 years of work visa permit to international students, and you will see why people have started hating US. Fourth point is gun shooting and hate crimes. It breaks my heart to see increasing number of deaths of Indians in US. Sometimes it is mindless gun shooting, sometimes road accident, sometimes targeted attacks on Indian students and racist comment by US police officer. As this chart shows, mass shootings in US were nearly at peak in 2023. So I totally get it when people are scared about the gun laws in US. It is horrible. It makes me super angry when I read about these incidents, or when there is religious violence in France, or when there are rapes happening in India. I do wonder why the world is getting so fucked up. I wish things improve, but honestly, I'm not too optimistic. world has become more divisive and violent. The only sense I can make out from this is that the growing success of Indians will attract resentment from local citizens. No one likes to see their jobs being taken away and someone more competent coming up and living better than what they can afford to. Remember that Indian Americans are by far the most affluent ethnic group in the US. So these are all the reasons why some people are not attracted to US anymore, and the question is the American dream dead? Is US worth any more? To properly answer this question, I need to look at the other side of the coin too. That is, if I don't go to US, what are my alternatives in India? Now for some of us, the alternative or those other options are not great either. Let us look at some of them. Number 1, let's say you are a class 12th student wanting to study engineering. Firstly, you have to write the entrance exam, the JEE, which is written by 11 lakh people, and be in top 16,000 people to get a seat in IITs. That is 1.5% acceptance rate. Are you telling me that only 16,000 people deserve to be in the IITs? Of course not. There are so many others who are as intelligent and have the potential, but they simply cannot get in because we have severe resource crunch in India. And if you graduate from a tier 3 BE college in India, education and placements are really shitty. Even a 200th ranked US university is better than 50th ranked college in India. The fact is, it is sometimes easier to get into MITs and Stanfords than in IITs and AIIMS in India. Second situation is, let's say you have joined a good college and you are now graduating. So you are a young college graduate in India. You can start looking for job options. Firstly, there is significant job crunch in India too. IITs are seeing a record low placements this year, almost as bad as COVID times. Now let's assume you are lucky enough to find a job. What's the salary situation? As you can see in this table, look at the average electrical engineering salary in India. That is 2.5 lakh per annum, where even after 10 years of experience, you can get around 6 lakh. And same with mechanical engineering salaries, 2.5 lakh entry level, and 9 years of experience will fetch you roughly 6.4 lakh. Now let's look at the salaries in US. Among the STEM majors, entry level salaries are highest among computer science, where you can on an average expect around $85,000, and even in other majors the lower is around $65,000. The fact is, salaries are quite depressing in India, and for someone who's ambitious, it is hard to feel satisfied with the career growth options in India. On the other hand, you can get much better paying jobs in US and afford a lifestyle that you simply cannot in India. With 100,000 salary in US, you can end up saving 20 lakh rupees, whereas most career options in India will give you a salary of less than 20 lakh, right? So in US, you are saving that much, which is more than what you're totally earning in India. Now yes, some people would say that salary is not everything. To them, I would say it is not nothing either. It does matter. If I had not earned high in the early part of my career and saved that much, I would not have had the freedom to do what I liked later. So please stop deluding yourself. If you say salary does not matter, it always matters. So even if I want to stay back in India, unless I am in top 1 or 2% of students, the prospects are not as exciting as what I can get in the US. In fact, it is this lucrative career opportunities that lure many Indians to US. And lastly, I want to consider the GDP per capita. While we keep boasting that we are soon going to be 5 trillion economy, we rank 139th on GDP per capita ranking. This means that India is rich, but average Indian is still very poor. Taking my own example, I studied in a tier 2 BE college and my campus job paid me 3 lakh per annum, plus it sucked. As opposed to it, I got RA-ship at UIUC that paid me more than my Indian job salary, and the job I got directly after masters was on Wall Street and paid me $100,000 back in 2007. That was huge. I was able to build up my savings significantly just by working for 4 years in the US. So in my mind, there is no doubt about the power of studying in US, but I do admit that things are much tougher than what they were back in my days. So it is not a straightforward choice for everyone. If you already have a great career building up in India, you may not find studying abroad worth it. But if you are frustrated with your current status in India, I think US can give you an accelerated growth. Further, if you are open-minded about settling abroad, that is, if you're okay settling outside US, then you can truly enjoy studying and spending some years in US. After that, if you get a green card and are able to stay there permanently, great. If not, India is a great place to be back with good savings. While the job market is riskier than what it was in the past, 85,000 people are still getting H-1B visa every year. It could be you. I know that if I had not taken my chances at building a life that truly helped me reach my potential, I would regret it forever. So yes, I loved being in US and now I'm enjoying my life back in India. I would not have this life if I had not gone to study abroad. Do what minimizes your regret. I know many people are going to post hate comments for me saying this, but I'm going to stick to my opinion. This is what I feel, and I welcome a healthy discussion on this. Nobody said building a life abroad is easy, but building a life I want in India is not straightforward either. Let's stop looking for easy and start looking for meaningful ways to develop our careers and life, because that is what this channel is all about. Alright guys, so that's me signing off. It was a loaded video. I've tried to give you both objective facts as well as my subjective opinion. Of course, you should form your own opinion by doing homework about what matters to you. Whatever it is, do let me know in the comments what you think and feel about this growing sentiment against US and studying abroad. Do you think India is at that place where we should not be thinking about options abroad anymore? I would love to know your opinion. Let me know in the comments. And of course, I would be back next week with another fresh video. If you have any request for a video, do let me know in the comments. Take care. Bye-bye.